Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Welcome everybody to Wager Talk Today. I am Lawrence Presman. He is Teddy Covers, and you're watching the best daily all sports betting show on the planet. And I know that as a fact. I mean, we literally got an email this morning from Tucker. Prez, can I come on, man? I heard you run the best daily all sports betting show on the planet. I got nothing to do. Teddy, who's on the show? What are they going to be talking about?
Jimmy Adams is going to lead us off today. He's going to talk a pair in MLB action. We'll talk some Pirates and Dodgers, some Orioles and Red Sox. Andrew McInnis is going to join us next. We got to break down all three NHL games for tonight with Andrew. Of course, when it comes to BS report today, well, Lawrence, we're going to talk about trying to tackle a new sport and the best ways to approach that. And of course, if we get 100 likes, we have a big breakdown to close out the show. So loaded Tuesday edition.
Yep.
MLB and NHL on center stage. Let's get into it.
Daniel's son, our wonderful producer, very much in love right now. Different topic, but Daniel, we're going to put the BS segment between the two guests today. Guys, we have no Dave Sharapan. So if you have any questions that you want us to answer after Andrew's segment, please put them in the chat room. I'll take a look. We'll get to them. I promise you we've got time today. Teddy Covers. Shall we just bring Jimmy in and get going?
If you want. Look, last night was one of the best nights of playoff basketball/hockey that you'll ever see. All right. Thrilling games in the NHL, thrilling games in the NBA. Drama, point spread drama, total drama, the works. That was a fun night, Prez, if you were on the right side of it. I know you and I were on the opposite side of one of those where the Lakers.
Yes.
Whether you had Memphis plus the points or the under in that game, either way, it was a really tough beat. All right. That being said, lots of people are on the other side of those two. And if you had the over the Lakers, you have a little bit of smile on your face this morning. My apologies. I'm sorry you were on the wrong end of one that I got lucky with, but I ain't giving the money back. And I ain't giving the win back either in this big battle between the five of us for NBA supremacy.
Dude, I get it. Respect. I get it. I mean, I in case you guys didn't know what happened, I was on the under in the Laker game, and Teddy was on the over, and well, he got lucky and I didn't. End of story. I had a 2-4 night. But Teddy, last Monday had a 1-6 night, and I ended up going on a 21-8 run. I had a 2-4 night last night. I'm expecting tonight's the night, dude. I'm sweeping tonight, man. I'm excited about tonight. But what a Leaf performance. And you made a great comment about the Washington Capitals. Want to mention that again?
Sure. I mean, so again, it's not like I'm an NHL expert, but in the postseason, I kind of pay attention. And the year that the Caps won, the Caps remind many people like the Maple Leafs. They're in the playoffs every year. Every year they find a way to lose. The year they finally won the title, it started in the first round with the win, kind of like the one we saw from Toronto last night. So it's real early in the playoffs in the NHL. But for a Leafs fan, that was as positive a sign as you're going to see. When you're coming back like that on the road in a game that you're dead in, just like the game before, back-to-back sneaky wins for Toronto. Maybe there could be good things on the horizon, a harbinger of things to come for your Maple Leafs.
Well, I'm gonna remain calm. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, but I did release the Maple Leafs for my clients last night, so I guess that kind of made up for the under in the Laker game, to say the least.
Never in doubt.
I'd like to dedicate the show to Tucker. If you're watching, peace out, brother. Jimmy Adams joining us. Jimbo! How are you, my friend? Welcome to WagerTalk Today.
Thanks, Prez. What's up, guys? What's up, Teddy? Doing really well. Things are going great in baseball. Entertaining game. Last night I watched that Lakers-Memphis game. You just knew that foul was coming at the end, and I feel like I could hear a million people screaming one way or the other, depending on which side you were on.
Yeah.
But,
0.3 seconds left.
Yes, sir.
Let's go through it again, guys. Let Teddy, maybe you want to talk about that game again? No.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, good. Jimbo, it's $2 Tuesdays over at WagerTalk. We'll talk about that in a second. The Pirates are playing the Dodgers tonight. I have a free pick up on the Pirates. All my reasoning is over at WagerTalk.com. Take a look. What are you doing in this game, my friend?
So I'm right there with you, Prez. The Pirates are as hot as pretty much any team in baseball right now. Winners of 7 straight after sweeping the Reds and Rockies. Bit of a step up in class here, right, with the Dodgers coming to town, but we have a favorable pitching matchup at a pretty good price. The clients and I got this one at a nice dog price. It's been bet down, but I still really like the play. Johan Oviedo on the mound. Oviedo has put together 3 straight elite starts since a tough opener against the Red Sox, a sub-1 ERA in those 3. Since that start, he's allowed just 2 total runs in 19.2 innings with 21 strikeouts and just 4 walks. His hard hit percentage is way down, and he doesn't allow many barrels. He's going to induce a lot of ground ball contact thanks to a slider that he's going to use about 40% of the time. And then we have Noah Syndergaard, not a guy that I'm necessarily looking to back. He doesn't throw particularly hard at this point in his career. He's going to rely on a sinker, changeup, cutter combo and try and hit his spots, try and keep hitters off balance. The Dodgers have lost all 4 starts that he's made this season. And the LA bullpen has also really struggled, posting a 5.05 ERA collectively. LA, always a threat at the plate, but the Pirates really aren't that far behind statistically. Also worth noting, Max Muncy doubtful for this contest. He is on paternity leave. Look, we've got the better pitcher, we've got the team in the better current form at home, and we're getting a good price. Give me the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight.
So when we take a close look at who Pittsburgh has played so far this season, their opponent that has the best record that they played is the 12-11 Houston Astros. And they lost that series. It's the only one of the last 6 series that they lost. So Pittsburgh has clearly been feasting on the weak. Are the Pirates ready to step up and beat the strong? Because for all of LA's mediocrity so far this season, the Dodgers still lined as a 95-win team. This team's no joke. Can Pittsburgh step up in class?
It's funny because we've been doing this a while now, Teddy, and I try to anticipate the follow-up questions that you're going to ask me. And I thought you'd come to me with strength of schedule. And yes, this is a great what an opportunity for Pittsburgh to prove, hey, we're for real, right? We're going to hang around and win some games. I think they can do it. They haven't played a team with a record above 500 yet this season, but the Dodgers are just 1 game above 500, missing a key piece, as I mentioned, and not necessarily the pitcher we want on the mound. I'm high on Oviedo. I think they can step up at least for the series opener.
Jimmy Adams joining us, everybody. Jimmy, I'm in play on this game as well. What is going on, brother? You want to talk Orioles, Red Sox? You've got a total bet for us. What should we do in this one?
So we have 2 top 10 offenses in the Orioles-Red Sox game, and at least 1 pitcher that we want to fade as they continue their series from Camden Yards. We're going to start with Corey Kluber. He's the guy I'm sure we want to fade. He's got a FIP of 7.44, and he's been knocked around in every start this season except 1. Last time out, he gave up 7 earned, including 2 home runs to the Twins in just 5 innings, 6 home runs total in just 4 starts so far. He's got a high hard hit percentage. His exit velo is way up. Everything about this pitcher screams runs, bet against, etc. Kyle Bradish, somewhat of a wild card because he was hit by a comebacker in his first start, didn't make it through the second inning. And then he faced the Nationals, and he had a good start, but the Nationals have a terrible WRC plus against righties. So essentially, he's had one start. It was good against the Nationals. We do have some data on him in his career against the Red Sox, and it does not look good. 0-3 with a 7.54 ERA. I believe that's in 5 career starts against Boston. So we'll see how Bradish does here. But look, this Red Sox offense has been scorching hot, scoring 36 runs in their past 5 games. Both these bullpens have been pretty good, particularly the Orioles bullpen. They've made the biggest jump in the power ratings that I use. But I think we can count on Kluber getting roughed up here and the Red Sox to stay hot at the plate. 8.5/9. Give me the over tonight at Camden Yards.
So now I'm curious, Jimmy. We got to go back and forth here a little bit. What did you anticipate that my follow-up question was going to be for this game? I got one. I'm curious as to what you thought.
You were going to talk about how good Baltimore's bullpen's been lately. They didn't allow a run in the last 6 innings, I believe, last night. That was my guess for this one. So
what I was curious about for this one, this total stood out to me in that it opened 8.5 and is sitting 8.5. And I thought it would open 9 and got bet up. And instead, it's just sitting there 8.5. Do you pay attention to these subtle 8.5 versus 9 versus 9.5 in the betting markets? Is that something you pay attention to? Because back in the day, I used to pay a lot of attention to that. In the modern era, I pay less attention. But you worry about the 8.5, 9, 9.5, and why is it not 9 for this one? And why are the markets still not betting it to 9, even though we've seen a bunch of over money?
Yeah, no, great question. And absolutely, I pay attention to it. Sometimes the biggest line movements or the biggest tellers in the market are when a line doesn't move, right? When everything's saying, "Hey, this game should be going up," and it doesn't. Well, maybe there's a reason for that. I think that reason is because Baltimore's bullpen has been so good, but like I said, they didn't allow a run in the last 6 innings yesterday, and the total still fell on 9. Are they likely to repeat that? Probably not, and it may not even matter. Kluber may get roughed up, and I don't expect a very good start out of Bradish either. This is not a client play. The Pittsburgh one is, so jump on that, but I do like the over in this game.
Jimmy Adams, everyone. More, Teddy. More. You got more to do. Oh,
sure, like I
keep going, you, man. You slacked me.
Yeah.
Yes,
we're talking first 5 versus full game here. You respect the Orioles bullpen. You don't respect either starter. I'm curious why you went full game as opposed to first 5.
It's just something that my clients come to expect from me. I'm messing around with first 5 and full game. When I start flip-flopping, I can kind of go a little bit crazy at times. Because, one will hit and one won't. And at the end of the day, I just think the full game is the way to go. The Orioles bullpen has been good. The Red Sox, not so much. So we may need runs late. I just kind of prefer doing the full game usually. So just the way I handicap.
Jimmy Adams, are you now done, Teddy?
I am.
So Jimmy, real quick, this is private. Don't tell Teddy. I slacked Johnny and Joe on Friday, and I'm like, sometime in the summer, we just need to have a show where every single guest that ever has been on WagerTalk gets to ask Teddy a follow-up question, just one after another.
The problem
Johnny
was like, he'll be ready for it. He'll be ready for any.
You're not going to stump me.
Yeah. But Teddy, Johnny picked who should go first. Who do you think he picked?
I don't know.
Marco. So I guess you give Marco the biggest grief. Anyway, Jimmy Adams, everyone, guys. It's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk. Well, you want to jump in now while I'm promoing? Go ahead.
I'm trying. You didn't ask the question. You asked me who I thought he would pick. I said Marco. You didn't, and you didn't say anything.
I said Marco.
Was it? Oh, so I was right. So my guess out of all the guys was right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I said Marco.
I'm nailing it today.
Oh, you are nailing it, dude. Kara, nailing it alert. Okay, Jumbo, you're the $2 Tuesday handicapper. First, I want to read what Wes wrote in the chat room. Been with Jimmy for over a month. Really great capper. We'll be with him all year in the MLB. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate you. As one of the owners of WagerTalk, that shit does it for me, dude. Like, honestly, like I get a twitch. I love that stuff so much. So congratulations. Outstanding. You really see baseball brilliantly. You're on a 13-2 run right now in baseball. Guys, 13 wins, 2 losses. If you've never listened to the show before, every Tuesday we have a $2 Tuesday handicapper. You can buy Jimmy's plays. He's got a 5% baseball play up for tonight. It is only $2. That's less than a crappy coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, where you might find Tucker sitting there waiting for his interview. So yeah, there you go. 5% play for Jimmy Adams. 13-2 run, only $2. Anything else, my friend?
I think you nailed it. 13-2 run. Thanks for the positive feedback, guys. I really appreciate that. Take advantage of one of our mini specials. Our bosses do a phenomenal job. There's too many to talk about. I mean, 30 days with a week free. We got our season-long package discounted. If you want to make money long-term, take advantage of one of those. In the meantime, I will try and get you a winner tonight in a game I see a big advantage in. Good luck, everyone.
Jimmy Adams, 5% play, only $2 on $2 Tuesday. And it doesn't even matter now, Prez. It's gone.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But was it funny in your head at the time?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Teddy, what did we learn in the wonderful world of sports betting?
I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because that, in theory, is supposed to move the needle in the NFL. All right. We talked about the great night of playoff sports. Aaron Rodgers is a wow kind of player. He certainly had a wow kind of career. And when you look around the NFL market, there really aren't any transformational quarterbacks out there this offseason. You have rookies. Well, the Jets have gone the rookie route. They drafted Sam Darnold. They drafted Zach Wilson, a pair of top 5 picks. Failure. All right. In my opinion, the only other legitimate average to above average NFL starting quarterback available this offseason was Derek Carr, and he's in New Orleans. The Jets had a championship level defense last year. The offense has all kinds of pieces in place. They're exactly the type of team who's supposed to make a win now move. Their championship window is open right now. I read something yesterday that it kind of blew my mind a little bit. And I thought I got to talk about Aaron Rodgers just because of this. Joe Namath, the Jets quarterback who won the Super Bowl III and then had knee problems for the rest of his career. Joe Namath won some MVP votes for the Jets in 1972. That was 50 years ago. In the last 50 years, Jet players have received a grand total of 0 votes in the top 5 for MVP. 0 in 50 years. Top 5, not an MVP, in the top 5 were the ones who gets voted. 0. So when you have a franchise that's in this state, it's okay to take a shot. It really is. Then you start to look at the betting markets. You know what the betting markets did? Oh, they don't care. Probably some of it was that Rodgers was expected to go to the Jets and it was already factored in. But the AFC has the Bills and the Chiefs and the Bengals and the Chargers and many other teams, all with young superstar quarterbacks. The Jets have a 1 or 2 year window. They just traded away draft capital. I'm not surprised it didn't move the needle in the futures betting markets. That being said, if I'm the Jets, I do exactly what they did. What do you think, Lawrence? You pay any attention to this NFL offseason stuff?
Yeah. So, yes, obviously. And, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets is a big deal for nobody, from my perspective. Green Bay should be celebrating. They got that little shit out of their way. Anyway, my take on this is, and Carmine says it best. Yesterday, 2 days ago, if you bet $100 on the Jets to win the Super Bowl, you would make literally $0. Today, if you bet the Jets to win the Super Bowl, you will make literally $0. I don't understand why Aaron Rodgers would want to go there. I get it's in New York. Fine, whatever. He's now in the same division as Josh Allen and in the same conference as Burrow, Herbert, and Mahomes. Okay. I mean, listen, whatever. Like, I think it's just the guy's like 80 years old. He's a piece of poop. He's going to go to New York. They're going to win 8 games, and they're not going to make the playoffs. That's my take on Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, pretty much. Who gives a shit is my take on Aaron Rodgers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, guys, we got lots of questions. Andrew, I know you're sitting there waiting. I thought we would do the BS segment before we bring you in, but then we'll bring you into the BS segment because I do want your thoughts on one of the questions that we're going to discuss. Dan, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back. Teddy and I, with a little help from Andrew, will do the BS segment, and then we will go through every NHL game on the board.
Known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers best bet or daily package for only $2.
Welcome back to Wager Talk Today. Teddy, we spoke about $2 Tuesday over at Wager Talk. Everybody that we take our hottest handicapper, we sell it for only $2. We have the same similar deal going on at Sports Memo, 3 experts for only $5. Today we have Buster Sports, Ross Benjamin, and Ray Monahan. You get all 3 of those plays for only $5 over at Sports Memo. So, Teddy, we got a few questions we're going to go through. I'm going to save the big one for last. Joe Average Fan writes, is playing a round robin parlay a legit wagering strategy or just a fancy hedge bet? Neither. I don't understand how it's a fancy hedge bet at all. It's literally... So a round robin parlay, guys, if you have 3 teams and you're doing a round robin parlay, you have A and B, A and C, B and C. Is that right? I don't even bet this stupid nonsense. Is that right? 3 bets in a 3? No, 4. And then the 3-teamer.
Sure, then you have one 3-teamer.
Yeah, and then the 3-teamer. So basically, if you take 3 teams and you put them in a round robin, all you end up doing is giving yourself 4 parlays. Don't get caught up in this fancy term round robin. You've just done 4 individual parlays. Is that a legit wagering strategy? The answer from my perspective is hell no. Is that a fancy edge bet? Don't even understand what that means because you're not edging anything. You just have 4 parlays. Teddy, quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, but I'm trying to erase everything that you just said out of my brain before I start talking.
Well,
round robins are a legitimate strategy that you can use. I use them all the time during college football season. I use them when I'm playing underdogs on the money line. On a college football Saturday, if there are 5 dogs that I think are live to win the game outright, I'll put a round robin together with a bunch of 2 and 3 and 4 teamers involving those 5 teams on the money line. If you cash one of those, doesn't do you any good. Cash 2 of them, doesn't do you much good. Once you start getting to 3, now it's profitable. If you get 4, it's really profitable. You get 5, you have a monster day. Obviously, if you go 5 for 5 with underdogs on the money line, you're going to have a monster day. The advantage of a round robin parlay like that, and your unit sizes are small. Your unit sizes for round robins tend to be very small because you're making a bunch of different parlay bets. But the advantage of doing a round robin bet with underdogs on the money line is when that Saturday comes and the dogs are hitting, you pay for the whole year on that one day. So there are times I absolutely will do and will use it. When Lawrence says money, it's a fancy way of making parlays, it's a legitimate strategy for getting a number of bets, a number of smaller bets down on games that you like. And I would not hesitate to say round robin parlays in certain circumstances are worthy of a look. Lawrence?
Teddy, Charlize Theron is so hot. And, when she walks into a sports book, it's like Drool City. That's literally what goes down in the book when Mr. Round Robin Parlay works in. Oh my God, free money coming our way, baby. So I need to forget everything that you just said. In my head, I got to get it out of my head. Firstly, I don't even believe you make those stupid parlays. And secondly, I do make parlay. I know you do make those parlays. I'm sorry. But I do.
At times in your career, you've made them too.
I'm going to. I have made round robin parlays. I have made them. I never win them, but I have made them. And the ones that I make are roughly around $5 a parlay that pays like 600. And I take the NHL -1.5s, and then I parlay it with a NFL Sunday play, so I don't have to bet that NFL Sunday play if I can actually pull 2 or 3 of them. They never win. They're fun. They're great. I'm not with you at all on this. I highly recommend you do not do parlays from my parlays, period, unless it's a big money line. Take 2 MLB bets, put them together, -210, -170. I have no problem with that, but round robins.
So if there's 4 MLB bets that you like, 4 MLB
parlay
favorites that you like.
I wouldn't do a round robin. I just wouldn't do it.
All right, that's a quick question. I hate to see what the long one is.
I've been down this path a million times. Okay, next quick question, and then we're bringing Andrew in to discuss the big one. The next question is from Kenneth. Great show. You talked yesterday about lines and books. Is there a book who seems to be the first to set the lines or games, or is considered the best line maker in the business? Teddy, do you have an answer for that?
DraftKings. Not half of it. Yeah, DK goes first. DK puts up their numbers as early as anyone. I would not, however, call them the book whose line everyone respects.
Right.
However,
that's why
in
I was
the
like,
domestic marketplace, DraftKings is first to market, and they've intentionally put themselves as first to market. They don't care if their opening numbers a little bit weaker. They want the action, and their handles through the roof. So whatever they're doing is working. So they're going to keep doing it. But the answer is DraftKings.
Okay. Andrew, join us for this convo because Teddy and I are so old, so decrepit, that we're going to need your help on this. Welcome to WagerTalk Today, brother.
Good to be here.
Excellent. We're going to go through every NHL game, but we're in the middle of the betting strategy with Teddy in the Prez segment. And I'm going to ask you guys this, Teddy, you go first. How would you best go about, this was asked by Smoky Steam Bets. Nice name. How would you best go about handicapping a new sport? I bet NFL, CFB, and NBA, so my summers are open. I'm thinking about getting into the WNBA. Would you suggest diving right in and slowly making bets or spending a year watching the league first? Teddy, you go, and then Andrew.
So I'm going to say this, that we want to differentiate between a new sport for everybody and a new sport for you. WNBA would be a new sport for you. One of the new football leagues would be a new sport for everybody, where there's not, 50 years of data. In a new sport for everyone, your the other's advantage isn't that great over you. If you're watching and reading, you can bet from week one. If it's a new sport for you, but not a new sport for everyone else, like the WNBA market, in that instance, I would probably tap the brakes, at least initially, and make my plays on paper. That said, if you're watching and reading every night and you're paying attention and you win 2 or 3 days in a row, your trial period is over and you're ready to start making wagers, in my opinion. What do you think, Lawrence or Andrew?
Andrew?
You guys, I can kind of speak to this from when the pandemic was here with the KBO.
Yeah.
You know, like Tokyo Brandon and Adam Trigger, they were doing, I think, KBO before that even started. But for me, you know, pretty much what Teddy just said is the exact thing that happened to me. And you know, everybody on Twitter seemed to be an all of a sudden KBO expert, right? Everybody was just they knew KBO, right? And so I had the pleasure of doing a show with Dave Koken, which was a great experience for me, for us to do that show together, because we actually validated ourselves and said, hey, guys, we're breaking down these games. We're breaking down the pitchers, the lineups, and things like that. But if you saw the chart, the graph of my results in KBO, and you saw the first 3 weeks of me doing it compared to the next 8 weeks after that, it pretty much is proof that, like Teddy said, write your plays down on paper. Next day, check to see how you did. Because I got crushed the first few weeks, and then I went on an absolute tear. And I think I just rushed into it a little bit. I got to get to know the teams, get to know the lineups, get to know the coaching staffs, when they bring in the bullpen, all those things. And I think my number one tip would be, don't rush. Be patient. Because you might want to make money early on, but you might actually lose money early on. You could just learn a lot more. So, and one thing that I will say that I don't know if everybody would agree with me, but I would say handicap a couple teams, handicap a division, a conference. That to me, I've always been better at handicapping the Atlantic Division in the NHL, because I simply just get more coverage and more information with that division. So that's my advice.
And I want to follow real quick, Andrew, because it's a scenario where tracking on paper is one of these things that people do very casually. If you're going to track bets on paper, track them like you were making a bet. 1 unit here, spreadsheet, the whole thing. Be real about your tracking. Because some people are like, yeah, they kind of write it down, or yeah, well, I was going to bet that, so it counts. Track appropriately via spreadsheet, and you will see when you start to win, plain and simple. Lawrence?
Yeah, so, you know, for me, Teddy, and I just want to add something small. I think Andrew made a really great point about bringing it down to a few teams, and I specifically in something like college basketball, if you're entering that world for the first time ever, stay in one conference. No need to handicap 400 bloody teams. But I will say this. Look, everybody has a different handicapping style. The situational bettors, like somebody like Marco, I think Brian Leonard is one of those as well. I think you can find similar threads amongst all sports that would be worth writing down and taking notice of. I think ultimately, if the top 2 teams in the league play against each other and then they go and play against the bottom 2 teams in the next game, that spot is an interesting spot to look at across all sports. You know, the sandwich games, you know, you're out on the West Coast for 7 days, then you come home and play a 12:30 game on the East Coast the first time back. You know, those are the situations that have common threads amongst all the sports that I think you can use to help you go through entering that new sport. It is not how I particularly handicap, but it is worth noting that those situations are relevant across all sports. Teddy, did you want to add something to that?
No, I want to start talking some NHL. I think we've done a great job.
Okay, before we get into that, I just got to tell everybody what went down in the chat room, because it's bloody funny. So Kai Biggs, Kai, shout out to your wife, my brother. Kai Biggs writes, had my wife pick a handicapper yesterday by picture alone. And then I went against his picks. My wife picked the Prez. He went 2-4, so I made a whole lot of money. So my takeaway there, as I wrote in the chat room, is nice. Your wife finds me hot. And then Washington Redskins writes, no, Prez. His wife has bad taste. And I wrote, no, Wash. His wife might have bad taste, but she still finds me hot. So anyway, Kai.
Prez, I'm still trying to figure out who that is next to your name on WagerTalk.com. I'm still trying to figure out who that person is or who that picture is. It certainly isn't you, is it?
You know what? I sent in a new picture, dude. It'll get changed.
Okay.
Anyway, shout out to your wife, Kai. Tell her to slip into my DMs later tonight, baby. Okay, Andrew, let's get into the first game on tap for NHL tonight. We've got the New York Islanders. They are on the road playing Carolina with their life on the line. It's not looking good for the Islanders, brother. How do we bet this game?
Yeah, Prez, my favorite bet actually overall, I just wanted to bring up, and I actually just placed this morning, over 0.5 parades planned in Toronto. I think that one is the best bet to make right now after what we saw last night. For anybody out there looking to look in the offshore market, if you can find a wager for how many parades will take place this year in downtown Toronto, I'll take that over 0.5 cup parades for the Toronto Maple Leafs after that Game 4 victory yesterday. But in all seriousness, Carolina and the Islanders, Carolina trying to close out the series. When I take a look at this one, guys, I take a look at a situation that I've been talking about for really the past few years now. I discussed it with Prez yesterday on Wager Talk or on Puck Time. We start to see a lot higher scoring games in these elimination games. Back in the day, it used to be the complete opposite. You could expect 2-1, 3-2, if that, in elimination type hockey games. The reason why I think is because the Islanders will realize that the way they've been playing, the style of hockey they've been trying to execute will not work for them, and they have to change something up. They'll be activating their defense, bringing defensemen up into the ice. The forwards will have to carry the puck. They can't continue to dump and chase the puck. They have to continue it. More shots on goal. We will see some more aggressiveness, which will lead to power plays, and we've seen power plays be a huge factor in totals. Empty net goals are a huge factor, and anybody that says that you can't handicap empty net goals, I strongly, strongly disagree. And in a game like this, with elimination games like this, you can expect to see probably at least one goalie get pulled, I would say, before the 2-minute mark. And so you bring that total down from 5.5 to 4.5, assuming we get that empty net goal. I like the over in this game, but I also like the puck line for the Carolina Hurricanes for them to close things out. Look at that price in the money line, guys, and look at that price on the puck line. Plus 170 is a great price, and a lot of the time when teams close out a series, they cash in the puck line because of that empty net goal. Whether or not they win by margin without it or with it, I believe the puck line is the way to go when you're betting elimination games.
Look at the puck line in New York versus Carolina this evening. Let's talk about Minnesota and Dallas. Right now, look at the Wager Talk live odds screen. I'm seeing the Stars minus 140, minus 145. Total 5.5 to the under. How do we bet this one, Mr. McInnis?
This is a series that I really expected to be the most back and forth, zigzag, if you will, type of series. I believe that Dallas has more talent offensively, but I could also argue that maybe Minnesota is stronger defensively. After we saw the last game in this series go under, just a little bit under, with it being a scoreline of 3-2, I'm taking a look at the first period under 1.5, Teddy. I don't really think I can trust these teams to play strong defense for 60 minutes. I believe I can trust them for 20, especially with Minnesota now being down in the series, and in the situation that they're in, I think that they'll realize the best type of hockey for them to play is shutdown hockey, clogging up their own end of the ice and counterattacking, if you will. And that's how they will score their goals. I do not believe they want to trade chances. They don't want to trade goals with Dallas. It's the only way I think they will have success against this Dallas Stars team. And under 1.5 to me is much better because, again, you avoid the empty nets, you avoid the big third period scoring. You're just handicapping the first 20 minutes. Two great goaltenders out there with Gustafsson and Ottinger. I'll take under 1.5 goals in the first period here.
Andrew McInnis joining us, everyone. Outstanding handicapper. You can find him at WagerTalk.com. He's also the host of Puck Time. You can see that show on WagerTalk TV, our YouTube channel. Guys, remember, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to our channel. Please ask us questions in the comment section after the video. As you can tell, Teddy and I are dealing with them all. I know a few of you guys have asked some questions already for today's show. We won't be able to get to those. Stick them in the comment section, please. And oh my God, Teddy, there's like another guy who says his girlfriend finds me hot. Who slip into my DM too, please. Come on. Like, I'm an old man. I want to feel the love. Andrew, speaking of feeling the love, I mean, Edmonton Oilers down 3-0. Yes, Teddy. Yes. Go ahead. If you got,
I love what Teddy
recognize. Just recognize that the original text was that his girl, I forget, it was his girlfriend or his wife, right? He was looking to get a handicapper to fade that day. He wanted to fade somebody. Yeah. So the wife or the girlfriend was looking at all the pictures and says, this is the guy who's going to lose today. This is the loser of the bunch. It's not you being hot. Yes. It's you being the most likely loser last night.
Her thought process was there could only be one Tom Brady. That guy is so damn handsome. God can't love him that much. He's going to lose tonight. So, yeah, fine. Whatever the case may be. She was drawn to my picture, not yours, you gray-haired old man. Anyway, yes, Schmidt, Prez's OnlyFans account starts tonight, 10 p.m. Andrew, 10 years ago, the Boston Bruins were down 4-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They came back and won that game, and the Leaf fans did not heard about it for 10 years. I mean, it was, for 10 years, biggest screw up ever. What a choke job. It's been done 3 times in the last 3 days. And one of them was from the Edmonton Oilers. Tonight, they're at home. They're playing the Kings. Man, I'll tell you, speaking about handsome, Deneau. Anyway, that's a different topic. Edmonton minus 225. The total here is 6.5. How do we attack this game?
Well, yeah, speaking of Deneau, a player that goes very underrated, that's not talked about enough because he's not much of a goal scorer. He's a veteran and a guy that takes care of things on the defensive side of things that I think a team like the Oilers are missing. Prez, before puck time yesterday, you and I were talking hockey together, and you said, man, have you seen that price on the Oilers for tonight's game? And I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I mean, it's a massive, massive number for a team that was down 3-0. They've had horrible first periods in almost every game. They were down 4-3 and then ended up winning 5-4 in overtime. I was just thankful I laid the chalk there on the money line and didn't have the regulation in that one. Now, for this game in particular, I think that there's 2 bets that I like in this game. Number 1, Oilers first period minus a half goal. We always talk about how to get rid of that high price, how to get rid of that big number. Well, I mentioned the Oilers, first of all, back at home now, but they have not come out strong at all in their games. And the first period will be huge for them. They will be happy about getting that win. But it's, as you said yesterday on Puck Time, sometimes when a team wins a game, when they probably didn't deserve to win it, it feels a bit like a loss. And I'm sure the coach reminded them of that as well. I want to talk about a player, actually, a player prop. Evan Bouchard, defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers, has a point in 7 straight games. Last game, he had 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. The game before that, he had 2 assists. And guys, they don't change the price on his player prop here. You can get a really good number at around minus 135 for him just to get a point, an assist, and a goal, a power play point, whatever it might be. He is your guy. Everyone's talking about Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, all these guys. Don't forget about the defensemen. I talk about it all the time on our prop show, Prop It Up on Fridays with Matt Josephs and Andy Lang. The defensemen always have cheaper prices, even if they continue to score and put points together. And the books, as Dave Sherapan says, and all of you guys like to say, the handle is not there for the hockey. So I think that it takes a lot longer for the books to make adjustments. Am I far off on that, guys? Or does that sound pretty true there?
Yeah. How's that for an answer?
Yeah.
Teddy,
So
I don't know
Lawrence
if Prez
doesn't
was
listen
listening to
when
me.
he gets
I was already.
yeah.
I was already.
I was
talking,
listening, Andrew.
I was already
And the
talking
answer
to Teddy
is-
about our. Sorry, go ahead, Teddy. Do your thing.
The answer is that in a sport that isn't taking massive volumes, it will take longer for the markets to adjust off of player props. If it's 1 or 1.5 or a half or whatever it is, it's going to take a while for that number to move because of the lower volume. Andrew McInnis, what do you have to promote for your clients this evening?
I have a situational top NHL play up, just the one play tonight in the NHL. And I already have a play I'm going to load this afternoon for tomorrow's Boston and Florida game. So looking forward to it. Had small profit on the diamond in MLB yesterday. Just one play for me in MLB, and looking forward to it, guys. Full transparency, off to a really good start to the NHL playoffs, but I did have a loss yesterday, a big one on the Rangers. Looking forward to bouncing back tonight. And guys, I appreciate your time.
Wonderful job. Andrew McInnis, everyone. Just nailed it. Yes, I wasn't paying attention at the end there, Teddy. I was talking to you in Slack, actually. What a fun freaking show. Guys, remember, listen, Greg, Ron, both of you have just asked great questions. Put them up in the comment section after the show. We are going to get to them one at a time. I promise you. Teddy Covers, we're well over 100 likes. Daniel's son, cue it up. All right, it's time for your daily presidential address. And just to let everybody know, if you did not watch WagerTalk Today on our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV, please head over there. Today was a great show, a lot of fun. We had Jimmy Adams and Andrew McInnis on. We looked at baseball and hockey. And I do have 3 hockey bets to give out on this show. Plus, we'll bring Teddy in as well to add his thoughts. Before we get into that, I went 2-4 last night. Last week, I had a 1-6 Monday. I came back and won 21 of 29 plays, 21 of 29 straight plays. I expect the same thing to happen tonight. I think tonight is the night to bet me. I have 1 NHL play, 3 baseball plays, and I will have 1 NBA play up shortly. As for your picks tonight, guys, I'm going to make this super easy. I like the over in the Carolina-New York Islanders game. This is a game which could have an empty net sitting there for 5 minutes. This is a closeout game for the Carolina Hurricanes. If they are up 3-1, give or take, and we still need a couple of goals, we're going to have a shit ton of time with the empty net. Plus, the line has dropped down to 5, which means 3-2 will give us the push. I like the under in the Dallas-Minnesota game tonight, and I also like the under in the Edmonton Oilers game tonight. Teddy Covers, please join us. What picks do you have for our listeners?
Well, we already gave it our Jimmy Adams already gave it early in the show, and I agree with his assessment. You can read my full analysis on my homepage over at WagerTalk or sportsmemo.com. I do like Boston and Baltimore over the total 8.5 still in MLB action for Tuesday night.
Kick-ass show, Teddy Covers. I'm taking my 19-year-old out for lunch. Take us home, brother.
Sure. That's going to wrap it for the Tuesday edition of Wager Talk Today. We'll do it again tomorrow, same time, same channel. Between now and then, you guys know what to do. Enjoy the games, and best of luck with all your wagers.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.